I seriously can't believe that this day is here and that I finally get to tell you guys this like massive secret that I've been keeping for the last 8 weeks, which has been so freaking hard. It's been so hard. I'm not good at keeping my own secrets. I don't like having secrets. I don't have secrets. I like to be like really open with people, just like how I am. And I get to tell you guys that I'm pregnant. So crazy. So crazy. I'm so excited. I just like couldn't wait to make this video and share the news with you all and just talk to you about it. So I am 12 and a half weeks pregnant. Every Monday I start my new week. So I think you're gonna see this on Wednesday. So I'll be like 12 and a half weeks and then the next Monday 13. So if you like want to keep track of it. But if you want to follow me on Instagram, that's where I'll be posting like weekly pictures and things like that. So I am pregnant. We're pregnant, we're having a baby, and we're so excited. We don't know gender or anything, and we weren't originally going to find out, but we have decided that we are going to find out. But I think we're gonna wait until 20 weeks. We might find out earlier, but as of now, we're gonna wait. So we're just so excited, and we're so excited that we can tell people. We've been really like keeping it quiet because we just want to make sure everything went okay with the first trimester, and that, you know, we saw our doctor a couple times actually and got a couple ultrasounds, and so everything is really good. Baby's super healthy, and everything looks really good, and so we can tell you, and I'm just so excited to be able to share the news with you guys. So we're pregnant, 12 and a half weeks, and I found out on April 9th. I'll give you guys that story first, and then before I get into all of that, I did make like a Google survey because it's like a form, because I don't know what you guys want to see. This is like a beauty lifestyle channel, but I don't know if you want to see weekly pregnancy vlog type videos with updates. I don't know if you want to see like every other week, once a month updates, trimester updates. Like I want to know the kind of videos that you want to see in relation to pregnancy, because I don't want to bombard you with pregnancy videos if you don't want to see them. So if you would click below and fill out my little form survey for you guys, that would be amazing and would really help me create content that you want to watch in relation to my pregnancy and all of that good stuff. So yeah, just go click below and go do that. So now I'll tell you kind of the story. So in January was when we decided to start trying, and I was still on birth control at the time. So I went off of the pill in January, and so I had normal cycle, and it actually took 45 days since I'd been on the pill to have my first one. So I had my first one in February, my second one in March, and then we got pregnant at the end of March. So I found out of the day of my missed period, and I wasn't going to take a test because for 2 months I had taken tests and they were negative, and it's a really interesting experience, and I can do a video all about that, about trying to get pregnant. And it did only take us 3 months, so I feel really fortunate and really lucky, and I do attribute it to a few things, one of which is Kundalini yoga and meditation specifically, and just being able to kind of like surrender and let go and just know that it will happen when it's meant to for us. And also, I have like the most loving, supportive, calm husband in the world that is so good at telling me like, you have to relax and not think about this. And I was kind of like obsessing over it in January and February, and I was just like, when I got my period, I just kind of like lost it and would cry and be really sad. And then so on April 9th, Tim got up and went to work like he always does, and I woke up at like 6:30, and I was so tired, like so tired I could not get out of bed. So I went back to sleep for like 3 more hours. I woke up at like 9, and I just felt like I had been hit by a truck, and I was like, this is weird. Like, I have not felt this tired since I had mono, like when I was in high school. I don't know if I've ever been this tired in my life. And so I just like laid on the couch, and I was like, and I was feeling like the 2 days before I was feeling a little bit of cramping, but I didn't have any bleeding, and I was just like, if my period comes, it'll come. I'm not taking the test today because today would be the day I would start. I'm not going to take a test. It's fine. I'm not thinking about it. And I laid there, and I was laying there and I was watching TV because I literally couldn't get off the couch. I was so tired. I really didn't know what was wrong with me. And I was just sitting there and I was watching TV and I just like, I put my hands up here or something and my boobs, I mean, they hurt so bad I couldn't even touch them. And that's not a PMS symptom for me at all. My only symptom is like really aggressive cramping every single month. That's how I know. And of like my period. So my boobs hurt so bad and this inner voice in me just said, take the test. And I knew that if I didn't take it, I would be sitting there all day wondering and just thinking about it because I was going to take it the next day. And so it is weird when you get to the days where you can take the test and you're just like, do I take it? Do I not? Do I take it? It's too early? I don't know. And so I just took it and I knew that it was going to be negative. And I say I knew this because I just like couldn't be hopeful that it was positive because it is this like really, it's like weary feeling. I don't know. It's like, because then you have a whole nother month, right? Before it's like, it's not like a week later and you can test again. It's like you got to go through like another month and wait that long. And so I just told myself like, it's going to be negative. It's going to be negative. Didn't even think about it. I waited like 7 minutes before I went back. But I also knew in my body that like my body was very different than it had ever felt in a long time. Like, I mean, I never felt that before. Like I said, like I hadn't been that tired maybe ever, but the last time would have been like since I had mono and my boobs never hurt. So I kind of subconsciously think I knew that there was a pretty good chance I was pregnant, but I just tried to convince myself that I wasn't because I didn't want to be disappointed. So I went to the bathroom to check it and it like had the plus sign and it was positive, and I literally had a total freak out. Like I for some reason videoed it, which I'm not going to insert. It's so private, and I won't even let Tim see it because it's just like, it's for me, and I don't want to delete it. But I mean, I was unconsolable. Like I was sobbing, and I'm on the bathroom floor, and I'm just like, no. Is what it's whole, I'm like, I'm just like, and I'm like, I'm talking out loud to no one, and I'm just freaking out. Like I will never forget that day or that moment when I found out. Like it was, and I was home alone. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning, or it was 10 o'clock in the morning, I think, and it was just nuts. It was so perfect. I was so happy. I was just like beyond happy. It's like, words can't describe it. It's like if Tim proposed again. It's just like a happiness that's insane. And I just like couldn't believe it. And I just remember being so shocked and so excited and just freaking out. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And instantly I was like, how am I gonna tell Tim? Because I wanna tell him. I mean, I had thought of this moment since we started trying, and even before then I had thought of like, how will I tell him that we're pregnant when we are pregnant? And I wanted it to be like special for him. And so I always knew that I was going to take the test when he wasn't there because I didn't want to hand him the test. And so I was like, I'm going to go out and get a onesie. I'll wrap it. I'll find something, whether it's like little shoes or onesie or whatever it is. Like I'll find something. I'll come home. I'll wrap it. He can have it at night. But then I was like, holy crap, I have to wait all day to tell him. This is insane. So I leave the house and I go to Target, of course, like the first stop. And I walk into Target in the baby section. And the first onesie that I see is a newborn onesie, you guys. And it is... it's in our announcement picture, and it says the adventure begins, and I just exploded. My ovaries exploded. I don't even know what happened. I just started crying in the middle of Target. I grabbed the onesie, and then in sheer panic mode, this is the weirdest thing ever. I was like walking by the underwear section, and the men's boxers were there. And I got Tim a pair of boxers. And I don't know why I did that, but I felt like I needed to buy him boxers. I don't know why I felt like I needed to get a gift for Tim and for baby, but I just was like, what if Tim like is really like freaking out or something, or he like is, I don't know, like I'm gonna get him boxers. Like that was gonna do something. I don't even know. You guys, I don't even know. I don't even know what it was about. My insane brain bought Tim a pair of boxers, baby a onesie. So I go check out, and I'm in the car, and I'm like, I can't even, like I get a little bag to put it in, and I'm just so floored. So right at that minute, Tim calls me, and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just out running some errands. And he was like, do you want to meet for lunch? Like I was thinking of taking a lunch break somewhere. I didn't pack it today, and I need to get out of the office for a little bit. And I was like, yeah, sure. Because obviously I wasn't going to say no. He knows I don't say no to those things. So I'm like, going out to get food. Yes, I'm in. So we meet at the mall at this place to get tacos, and it's like a sit-down restaurant, and I am like driving there, and I'm like, I can't give this to him. He has to go back to work. Like, I cannot tell him now. I have to pretend like it didn't happen. So I was like, in my mind, I was like, it's not happening. It's not happening. Now that you're not pregnant, it's fine. Just forget about it for like an hour. I don't know how I did it, you guys. I cannot keep my own secrets, like especially from Tim. Like Tim and I talk about literally everything, and so it was like one of the hardest things I've ever done was to not tell Tim at lunch. And I wasn't acting weird, like he had no idea. Like I was so normal. I really, during that hour, I don't know what happened. Some angels were with me and just helped me not think about it the whole time. So it didn't feel like torture, but as soon as I left, I was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. I was just like back to my like freaking out, and I drove home, and I got the present already, and I put his boxers on top and the onesie on the bottom, and I like wrapped the present in the little baggie, and I put it on the dining room table, and then I cleaned the whole house because I didn't know what to do with myself, and I couldn't sit down and work. I was like, my husband needs to come home now, because he needs to. I'm freaking out. Like me knowing something that nobody else knows is like, that stuff doesn't happen, you guys, because clearly, I've already said a million times, I cannot keep a secret very well, my own. I can keep other people's secrets, just FYI. So, he comes home from work at like 5:30, or no, he came home, I think, close to 6, and it was like torture. I remember messaging him not too many times, so I didn't want him to think something was up, but I messaged him at like 5:30, and I was like, are you coming home soon? Which is like very normal for me. And then at 5:45, he called me on his way home, and he was like, hey, I'm on my way home, do you need anything? And I was like, no, and he was like, I'm thinking of I don't know if he said he was thinking of getting a haircut or stopping somewhere, and I was like, no, just come home. I'm like, you have to come home, like now, you have to come home. And so he is on his way home, he comes home, he walks in the door at like 6 o'clock, and I'm just like, how was your day? I am literally shaking like all over. I can't even control myself, and my heart is beating so fast, I think I'm going to throw up. And so we talk like normal, and I think he like kind of gets suspicious because I'm being like a little weird. So but I don't say anything, like there's a present for you. But he's like walking over to the kitchen table, and I know he's gonna see it. And he was like, what's this? And this was like 5 minutes after he got home, which was like the longest 5 minutes of my life. And I was like, it's just a present for you. And I'm standing on this side of the table, and he's on the other side. And I'm just standing there, and I'm freaking smiling, you guys. I can't even help myself. I'm freaking out, and I'm just like, he's about to find out that he's gonna be a dad. Like, this is insane. This is insane. And so he opens the boxers, and he's like, oh, thanks. Like, this is the weirdest thing. Why did you just wrap a pair of boxers? Like, anytime I buy him stuff, like shirts or boxers, I just like give them to him. Like, I don't wrap them. So he opened it, and I just saw his face, and he was just like, I could just tell he was like, why did she wrap boxers? And I was like, and then he put it down. I was like, there's something else in there. And he opens it up. I'm getting so nervous, like I have butterflies again telling the story, and I feel like I'm gonna throw up because I remember everything about this moment. So I'm standing across the table like this, like my hands are up. I'm trying not to pass out. And he opens it, and it's the Adventure Begins onesie, and he pulls it out, and he looks at it, and he looks at me, and he's like, this is for Sophia, right? And Sophia is our brand new niece who was like 2.5 months old at the time. I was like, I had my hands over my mouth at this point, and I was just like shaking my head, no, and he goes, no, no way. And I was like, I couldn't even speak, like I couldn't say words. I was just like shaking my head, and he was like, are you serious? And I was just like, huh? Like I couldn't even, my eyes were huge. I was just like shaking my head. I couldn't say words. And he like we walked around to the side of the table, and he gave me a big hug, and it was the greatest surprise of life for me, because it's really hard to shock Tim that much. And like when he proposed to me, I feel like that's the last time I saw a reaction like that, but from me obviously. Seeing Tim the surprise was pretty much the greatest thing ever in the world. He had no idea, because obviously we'd been trying, but with us, we really didn't want to put like insane amount of pressure on it. So I didn't tell him like when I would be taking the test or like when my cycle was coming, because I didn't want to. Like that was a lot of pressure for him, and it was pressure for me, but I didn't need to tell him all the details about my cycle. So I didn't tell him. He didn't know. I think he knew that it was like coming in like a week or so, but he doesn't keep track of that. I don't expect him to. And so I didn't tell him. So he did not know that I was going to be taking the test. So he was just floored, and it was so sweet, and he had the hugest smile on his face, and he was like, I can't even believe it. Are we really having a baby? And I was like, yeah, it's crazy. And he was like, oh my gosh. I mean, it was just, he was in his own version of shock, because it's just something that, for me at least, and I think for Tim too, you're trying for it and you're trying for it, and you get no and you get no and whatnot. And then when it's like yes, it's kind of insane. Like as much as you feel like you're ready to be pregnant and you want to be pregnant, the minute you find out you're pregnant, it's like, holy crap, we did it. Like, we created a human and now I'm pregnant. Like, that's crazy. And it's our first baby, and so we had no idea if it would take 3 months or a year and a half. We had no idea how long it would take us to get pregnant, obviously. And so I've never been pregnant before. And so it was wild. It was like the greatest moment ever. We just like hung out and snuggled all night, and it was just amazing. It was so good, and it was like one of my favorite moments ever of life. It was so sweet and happy, and we kept it to ourselves before telling anybody for 2 full weeks. And I can make a whole video on how we told our parents. If you guys want to see that, you can let me know in the comments. I think that's also going to be in the survey for you guys. But yeah, it was just so beautiful and so special, and I could cry. I could really cry, but I'm not going to, because I just did my makeup and I like it. That's really why I'm not going to cry, because I'm so happy. I hope you guys can tell. We're so happy, and we just feel like it's the perfect timing to have. Maybe I am going to end up crying. This is what happens. Like, I cry over the weirdest stuff now that I'm pregnant. It's been better than I thought it was going to be, though. I haven't been crying like constantly. I did for the first couple weeks, but now I haven't been crying quite as much. But we're just like we feel like it's the perfect timing, due December 16th. It's just so great, and I can't believe we created a human being, and I'm growing it now, and that's crazy. And we're following our app and like watching all the videos about it each week, and it's so cool. Baby's the size of a plum, and that's just so big, you guys, because baby starts as a poppy seed, which is nuts. And also, if you want to know our nickname for baby, it's Peanut, so we call baby Peanut. And so yeah, Peanut is the size of a plum, and just so excited about it all, and about this new adventure with my amazing husband, and this thing that's like half him and half me. It's crazy. It's so crazy, and we're just thrilled, so thrilled. So I'm really glad that you guys know now, and I wanted this video to be the announcement, how I found out, when I found out, and then how I told Tim, and then I'll look to the I'm definitely going to do a first trimester update for sure, because I've been taking notes each week, and then I've been bad about it the last couple weeks, so I probably need to do a little better job on that. But I want to do a first trimester update just to tell you guys about like how I was feeling and what my symptoms were and what my cravings were and things like that, and what apps we used and what books I bought first and all that good stuff. So I want to do like a whole update video on that. So if you are good with that, give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to see more pregnancy videos, give this video a thumbs up. And then I'll be checking out the survey to see what you guys want to see. And yeah, we love you guys so much. I hope I'll get Tim in a Q&A, like a pregnancy Q&A eventually. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like I can do a lot of these just me, and Tim, he doesn't not like being on camera, but it's not his favorite thing in the world, so maybe I'll get him on for a video if you guys want one. But we're just so excited, and I'm so excited to be telling you guys and sharing this news with you. So make sure to follow my Instagram if you want to see like bump dates weekly and things like that. I've already posted some of that, and our pregnancy announcement is on Instagram too, like our little picture with the little onesie, and yeah, we're really excited. So thank you guys in advance for all the love I feel like this video is going to receive, and just the support you'll send to us. And so grateful and thankful for you guys. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Mwah!